So it's day 209 of Hey, what are you doing today? And just reflecting on such peculiar changes that have occurred in my life over the last 208 days. Or is it 208 or 209? Hold on, did I say 208? Let me double check something. I'll be right back. So day 209. I don't know if I said 208 or 209 at the beginning, but anyway, just reflect on how different I feel overall. And I've mentioned this a couple times that I've gone down this path that I wasn't expecting. My initial thought was I would be studying business and learning about business, and all of a sudden, all that's turned into a character development and a character building experience, and getting to know myself a little bit better, and all those things that come with that. And somehow, in the back of my mind, I really feel that this is the best and the truest route to what I was really intending to achieve. Something unspoken, and that's a sense of success, a feeling of value, a place in the world, and a peace inside me, if that makes sense. Um, and this this journey, I've left it kind of completely open as to whatever comes to me and wherever it takes me. I haven't really given myself any extreme direction on it, but just kind of what the what the world brings to me, I guess. And it keeps surprising me. I mean, 209 days in, and each day I'm continually surprised by something in some way, shape, or form. And I was looking at my day and how peculiar the different insights, the different things that I have going on, and I kind of ask myself, how did I end up here? I mean, from getting up and running in the morning, and then um, listen to some kind of listen to a 528 hertz frequency, and with a brief meditation, and reading about Teddy Roosevelt, reading about Ernest Shackleton and his voyage. I'm on the voyage of the ill-fated Endurance right now in my mind. Listen to a little bit of the Quran. Talk to the Almighty, the higher power, the ether, the whatever that is out there, with that thing that can't be named, the Tao, God, Christ, Buddha. I had a conversation with that. Um, uh, let's see. Trying to think of where else my adventures have taken me today. Outside some of the basic things of rereading my notes that I've taken. I can continuously reread my notes each day, in different levels, different. I've quite a few pages of notes, but I revisit them constantly. But one thing that I noticed that it's brought to me is there's this new sense of calm, that I don't know if I had ever experienced before in my life, and it seems to become something that's really becoming a part of me, and it's, well, I can't be grateful enough for it, just to find this feeling and know this feeling. I talked about it, 10 or 15 videos back, and referred to it as the Holy Spirit, because I don't have a term for it, and it's just this inner sense of just accepting everything that's in the world, and who I am and where I am, and it's almost like a feeling of, for lack of a better word, love, is a good way to put it. When it's very similar to a feeling that I would feel when I'm in love with someone, but I'm not. It's not that. But it's the same kind of feeling. It's warm. It's energy. It's a high. It's a rush. But at the same time, it's just so relaxing and so peaceful. Um, it was interesting because a couple of the notes that I had today brought me back to a couple of really interesting things, and that's patience and never being hurried. Um, And I think those are two very valuable things that I've learned along the way. Is it's still something that I need to practice and work on, of course, but just that element, that sense of hurry, it does it serves no real purpose. It's another thing that kind of comes back to when I initially started exploring Taoism and how everything kind of unfolds in a natural pace, and it's all correct and it's all natural as the universe doles it out. So there's no sense in having hurry, and that hurry just kind of creates that uneasiness, that elevated stress level, and also takes away from the mindfulness. That's another thing that I'm starting to learn about and practice, and that's being aware of things that are going on, being more observant, whether that's on the interior or the exterior. Just stopping at times and taking a look at things that I wouldn't have normally taken a look at, and just kind of getting a real image of something that would have naturally been passed over, and that state of unmindfulness. It's something I referred to in the very, very beginning. I call it the zombieism, or the zombie life or lifestyle, or that just that element that we get into as humans, that in our routines we kind of go into an autopilot, and the world just passes by, and before we know it, it's 20 years, 30 years, and the same job or whatever the case might be, and it's like, wow, time is flying. And there's also, to think about that, just to talk about that for a second, that as I've gotten older, and I think that this is true of a lot of people, it's true of just about everybody I speak with, time seems to pass quicker as we get older, and why is that? Is it because we become less mindful? I mean, as children, we talk about how time, a day took an eternity, from the time the sun came up till the time the sun came down, and how it seems so much longer, and a year and a month and all those elements of time seem so much longer. Was it really that we were just more mindful? Was it really that we were more observant, that the world was fresh and new, and so we paid attention a little bit harder? We looked at things, we were more inquisitive about things. Is that what it was that slows time down? And if I want to slow time down, or if I want to enjoy time for what it is, the more mindful I become, the slower time will move. This is just a thought that randomly came to me right now, and of course just a theory, but something to think about. And I do think about that now. I'm 209 days into this, and it just feels like I've been doing it all my life. This little program that I have going on, where each day I have to hit these 20 or 30 different elements of enrichment in my life, and but that's an interesting thought, and it's something that I want to carry with me. As the more mindful I am of what's going on in the world around me, and how things look and appear, is it possible to slow time down? And not that that's such an important thing, I guess, but taking that quality and taking that enjoyment, and just taking every little bit of it, and really making of it everything that I can. Um, but but I guess the best thing is this new sense of calmness, and it's funny because it's still the little things that get me, things that probably get almost everybody, at least here in the United States, with the traffic, or somebody doing something wrong, or dangerous, or without respect, and some ways of thinking about that. But just that there's that element of traffic that really seems to unhinge me, and I think it's true of a lot of people. That's the best place to practice. That's the best place to practice not being in a hurry. That's the best place to practice mindfulness, feeling the sense of calmness, feeling the no anger, having no retaliation, loving everybody. That's an interesting concept to think about when you're behind the wheel of a car. But all those elements, I have a pretty long commute, and it's at that time of day where there is a lot of traffic, and I could, and I have just made that into a total misery. But with the flip of a coin, I can turn that into a total training ground, a total element being aware of myself, being aware of my thoughts, being aware of my emotions, being aware of everything that's going on around me, and fighting all those things that have grown from that zombie lifestyle of to retaliate, to get upset, to get angry, to be impatient, and really controlling that and turning that into something else, and creating a value in it. So it sounds like I've just added another process, but all these processes, they add up, and that's the most amazing thing. And here I am walking around, and just this overwhelmed with a sense of calm, not worried about anything. At least right now, I don't want to pretend like I don't have my own stresses or my own worries and things that come into my life, but I'm learning to control them differently. I'm learning to react differently. I'm learning to act versus that react. I'm learning to prepare. I'm learning just so many things that I'm learning, and for what it's worth, I gotta say thanks to that entity, the big man upstairs, and however you want to refer to that energy. It's kind of funny to have an image of the Buddha or Krishna, or just anything. Just the more information I have on religion and spirituality, well, more so spirituality, not so much religion, but the more I realize it's all the same thing. The way when you take out the element of what man sometimes does to manipulate religion, and in some regards, if you look at just the base teachings, if you look at what Christ said, I mean, was Christ a Buddhist? Was Jesus a Buddhist? Was he a Taoist? I mean, they're intriguingly similar in so many ways. Anyway, that's day 209. I'm gonna leave with that. Just a nice sense of peace. Hey, what are you doing today? Thanks.